Our top story this morning, shots were fired in Missoula yesterday morning, about 24 hours ago, at a convenience store in the 2400 block of South Higgins near the soccer fields. Police spokesman Travis Welsh said a store clerk and a customer were both wounded.
Officers learned that two suspects had entered the store, one of them brandishing a firearm. They also learned that two individuals had been shot. The two suspects had fled the store on foot prior to officers' arrival. Both adult male victims were transported to the hospital, where one was treated and released. The other's condition is unknown at this time. One was the clerk in the store at the time. Another one appeared to be a customer.
The victim, who was released, was able to give police a description of the two assailants.
One suspect was described as being taller than 6 foot, muscular, and wearing a dark-colored hoodie. The second suspect described as being shorter, also wearing a dark hoodie and brandishing a firearm. If anyone has information to identify the suspects or can otherwise aid in this investigation, please call either Detective Ben Slater at 552-6282 or Detective Mitch Lang at 552-6292.
Missoula police also trying to piece together a motive for the shooting. Welsh says reports so far indicate the shooter did not make any demands. And contacted early this morning, the Missoula Police Department did confirm the two individuals are still at large and considered armed and dangerous. Legislative analysts say Montana tax collections are on track to meet or exceed projections. However, the numbers may be skewed by early filers who are looking to beat changes to the federal tax laws. The update released yesterday by the Legislative Fiscal Division projects tax collections of $4 to $13 million above the $2.4 billion forecast in the 2018 through 2019 Montana budget. However, those projections include a spike in the number of people paying their individual income taxes and property taxes at the end of 2017. Many of those early filers were looking to avoid a new $10,000 cap in federal deductions for state and local taxes that was included in the tax reform bill recently passed by Congress. Analysts say that means the actual revenue could still fall short by the June 30th end of the financial year. The National Weather Service released a webinar yesterday detailing the potential for flooding in western Montana as spring will eventually turn to summer. Meteorologist Ray Nicholas provided snowpack numbers for the river basins surrounding the area.
The entire Clark Fork River basin above Missoula is up in that 158% of normal range. And in the Flathead drainage, we're at 141% of the normal. The Bitterroot's no slouch either. It's got 131%.
Nicholas said the areas most prone to flooding for the Clark Fork Basin are beyond the downtown Missoula area.
If we start to see this snowpack come off and combine with some rain, especially like we did in 2011, then, you know, right now we're certainly, just based on the snowpack that we see, and if we continue with a kind of a normal accumulation from here on out, certainly are looking at very high water on the Clark Fork River.
Director of the Office of Emergency Management for Missoula County, Adrienne Beck, said she and her staff attended the briefing with the National Weather Service yesterday, and they've begun making contingency plans for high water should it occur. She encourages homeowners who have experienced high water in the past to begin making preparations should the rivers approach flood stage. The 2017 Shrine Circus in Missoula appears to have been the last, unless the Missoula City Council decides to change its mind. An exotic animal performance ban by the city of Missoula forced the circus to park the animals out of town instead of bringing them in for the big show like they do at other Montana cities. According to Shriner Mike Weigel, who appeared on Talkback yesterday, after elephants, lions, and tigers were removed from the act, the number of attendees dropped precipitously.
It's not going to be back. It's done. For the past 60 years, our circus, which had no negative events ever, we used to profit about $25,000 to $30,000 per year. We loved the circus, the people. We had buses used to come in from all over, average 3,000 to 4,000 per showing.
Instead of running
last year, we were in 500s for each showing.
Instead of running a profit, the 2017 circus in Missoula didn't even break even. In fact, the Shriners had to dip into their reserves to the tune of $18,000. All of that money was raised for the Shriners Hospital in Spokane, which Weigel says serves about 1,000 Montana kids every year, regardless of their ability to pay.
It's a specialty hospital for children. If there's a deductible on that particular insurance or Medicaid or a copay, we bill the patient's parents once If they pay, fine. If they don't, it's a write-off. No sending them to collection. We assume you're going to pay us if you can, and you're not if you're not.
The Shriners also cover patient travel and lodging in Spokane. With the circus gone now, the funds are still needed, and the Shriners are working on a new revenue stream for the hospital in the form of a walkathon they'll hold in June. On Talkback, in just a few minutes, our listeners raised over $1,000 to cover the cost of rental of the Fort Missoula facility for the Shriners. So, again, thanks to all of you. The Montana Fish, Wildlife, and Parks Department says 10 deer have tested positive for chronic wasting disease in Carbon County. The Billings Gazette reports the positive cases revealed yesterday were a small enough number to lead that more herd management is not needed. The department says biologists generally consider management action to control the disease if at least 5% of the herd is infected. It's estimated that just 2% of the tested herds are currently diseased. The percentage is complicated, however, as the majority of positive tests came from Hunting District 510. State Wildlife Research Specialist Emily Almberg said testing of samples from that district placed prevalence closer to 10%. The fatal neurological disease affects deer, elk, and moose. United Way, Missoula's coordinated entry system, Missoula Housing Authority, and Reaching Home, Missoula's 10-year plan to end homelessness, have launched a new program called March Home with the goal of housing 40 people in 40 days. CEO Susan Hay Patrick said the effort is to help house those with urgent needs.
These are people who come with what we call Shelter Plus vouchers that offer several benefits to landlords as incentives to rent to people who have been homeless for quite some time and maybe have some barriers to housing. There are vouchers available, and these people really should be in housing, not in shelter. You know, the POV is routinely sleeping over 200 people a night.
Hay Patrick said there are special incentives for landlords.
Rent is paid directly from the Missoula Housing Authority to landlords and property managers, so there's no waiting or having to track people down. The program offers a double deposit. There's a vacancy payment if by some chance somebody moves out and a landlord can't quickly re-rent the property. We will pay them for that liability.
Landlords interested asked to call Jim McGrath at the Missoula Housing Authority at 549-4113. Our News Talk time is 6:12.
Newstalk, KGVO.
Missoula's official weather station. Ample sunshine today with our high temperatures in the upper 40s. Overnight lows tonight will drop into the upper 20s with increasing cloud cover. A chance of rain and snow showers on Thursday with daytime highs near 50. I'm meteorologist Brooke Foster for KECI 13.